Okay, hi, Paul Slakis. I'm here with the Rabbi Joshua Plout. Hi, how are you? And a PhD.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us today at our 6th annual Women's Luncheon for the American Friends of Rabin Medical Center. It's an annual event, this year taking place at 15 Central Park West in Manhattan for the benefit of a new comprehensive multidisciplinary breast cancer center at the Rabin Medical Center in Petah Tikva, which is in the greater Tel Aviv area. So this event, thank you. This event is taking place on Israel's Yom Ha'atzmaut, the 64th anniversary of the founding of the state, and that was intended as a celebration for Rabin Medical Center and the state of Israel. A party in New York.
All right, congratulations. It's so important. I get goose pimples. It's a country that sticks together, and America is a tremendous supporter of Israel and the things that are going on. How are we doing here in America in assisting Israel to live a healthier and a happier life?
I think the support from the United States, all its citizens, Jewish and Christian and Muslim, is unprecedented. The level of support that people have emotionally, financially, spiritually, it's praiseworthy. Who would have thought 64 years ago that the United States and its citizens would rally behind the people of Israel? And for this, we're grateful. We're doing our share at the American Friends of Rabin Medical Center to make this a lively relationship, and one in which our organization fosters medical coexistence in Israel through support from people in the United States.
I think that's wonderful. I don't know if you're aware, but I'm an interfaith minister. And with that in mind, you know, the realities of that area in the world is so precious to the Muslims, as you say, and the Christians, of which, who are just a few more than the amount of Jews that are on the planet Earth, come and visit and cherish that land as well.
We urge people who are friends of the United States, the most important thing they can do, besides giving to support the hospital, is to go there and to visit it in person. And we here in the United States facilitate groups and individuals and foundation leaders and political and just the average American to go and visit the Rabin Medical Center and to see the real Israel. In fact, 15 major interfaith leaders from New York visited Israel and the Rabin Medical Center in January of this year, of 2012, and they said it was a remarkable display of how Israel treats all its citizens regardless of their background.
Let's emphasize that point.
You know, there's somebody here who was treated in our hospitals on our board who we should talk to, who was for 5 weeks, who marvels at all the Israeli Arab nurses and doctors and patients at the hospital alongside the Jewish citizens of Israel.
Well, I think these are actually the stories that should be making the front page of the New York Times.
They are. They're the good news from Israel. We hear too much bad news in our world, and the good news stories are the ones that make life better for all of us.
You know, there was a story about how even on the battlefield, how if someone is down, I think it's the Scarlet or you know, the Red Cross type of people from Israel, their own special name, how they pick whoever has to get picked up gets picked up. There's tremendous camaraderie in that whole area that really needs to be talked about and celebrated, because that is the reality. We're not making that stuff up.
Well, we're a public health hospital, one of the 2 largest in Israel, and we treat all patients. There's national socialized health insurance, and so all are welcome to enter the doors of our hospital. There are 1 million patient visits annually. They take advantage of our intensive care, our emergency and trauma center, our cancer center. We're the leading transplant center. So whatever your medical need, we will take care of you.
Yeah, and you have an email blast that's called
Good News from Israel. Every Wednesday, we blast the best good news coming forward from the Rabin Medical Center. And we hope that, the namesake of our hospital, Yitzchak Rabin's legacy for peaceful coexistence, lives on through the good works of the hospital.
Fantastic. And good news for you is?
Good news for us is right now building the multidisciplinary breast cancer center at Rabin Medical Center, and also finishing up the Emergency and Trauma Center, which will be one of only 6 Level 1 centers in Israel, which is slated to be completed by 2013. And here in the United States, we need to muster up more financial support to bring both those projects to fruition.
Okay, and how can we help to do that? Go to your website. How does somebody share the geld?
Go to our website, www.afrmc.org, or call our office in New York City, 212-279-2522, and reach out to me, and I'd love to talk to you and meet you and make you a new friend.
The money doesn't have to be in shekels, does it?
Any way you can help us is appreciated.
All right, Rabbi, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, now I'm here with Arlene Stirlitz. Hi, Arlene, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Okay, Arlene's, I know, lives sometimes in Israel, lives sometimes in Norfolk, and the rabbi has just said some beautiful things about you.
Thank you.
That give us a little bit of background on yourself and your involvement with the Jewish community. And I believe recently you were at the Rabin hospital. Give us,
Okay, well, originally from Norfolk, Virginia, and my husband and I were pretty close to Pat Robertson while we were there, and I'm still proud of him for everything he does to help Israel. In fact, I was in Virginia yesterday, and I know that he sponsored a day to remember the Holocaust. I most of the time now am in Israel, and last year I got sick and I had to go to the Rabin Medical Center hospital. I had a very unusual, very little heard of disease called Guillain-Barré, and it kept me in the hospital about 6 weeks. I cannot describe that hospital as a person who was there. First of all, I was on a floor, and across the hall there were many, many Arab patients, and their families came to visit. What's interesting that in the Arab population, the entire family comes, children, everybody, to visit the sick person. And the head nurse on my floor who helped me was an Arab. Some of the doctors were an Arab. One of the doctors was a European non-Jew who came. It was sort of like a UN on the floor in the hospital. And I promise you, I never received care like that any place, or did I ever make friendships that I did there, like I did there. Of course, they helped me, and I'm here today to tell you I'm fine. And I was amazed at the lack of distinction between anyone and anyone. Everybody was like in a melting pot. That's it.
why do you live in Israel?
First of all, I love it. Second of all, when my husband was the chairman of an organization called the United Jewish Appeal, we used to go to Israel all the time and bring groups which they called missions. And I was always going back and forth to Israel. And one day I said, you know, I want a place here. I don't want to stay in a hotel anymore. I want to feel like the Israelis do and not come as an American only. So we got a house, and I love it. My husband unfortunately died, and we had a little business in Israel that we opened just to help the country economically. And that business grew, and I decided after my husband's death to run it. It was a business that did the catering for all the airlines except El Al, and that did all the meals for industry, because in Israel, all the big corporations serve the employees at least one hot meal a day. And I was in the business, and I loved it. And unfortunately, lately I sold it, but I'm still there, and now I have a lot of friends and a whole life. And it's a wonderful place to be. You have no fear when you're there, contrary to what people think who aren't there. So,
A lot of good news, and a lot of happiness,
yeah.
a lot of knockas. It's all good. So let me ask one last question, because I know you need to and want to speak to lots of friends that are here as well. What's good news for you? What's good news for you?
From Israel?
For you personally, what's good news for you?
Well, good news for me would be if there were peace. As far as I'm concerned, if we could have a two-state solution to the problem between Israel and the Arabs, it would be so wonderful that each one would have his own home and there would be no more conflict. To me, that would be the best thing that could ever happen, if it's not too idealistic to even dream of. But I would work tirelessly to promote a two-state solution to the problem.
Thank you so much for sharing good news.
Thank you.
Lucette Magnato, The Arrogant Years, one girl's search for her last youth from Cairo to Brooklyn.
The book is being passed around among about 10 people. But it's okay. Maybe I'll buy more just to have one. But I got it from a friend, and then I have a couple who are friends who are Egyptian Coptic Christians, and they read it and they cried, and I cried, and now my father is reading it.
Oh my God!
And thinks it's wonderful.
Are you Sephardic or are you
Ashkenazi?
That's amazing. And you were talking about The Arrogant Years, not the man in the white sharkskin suit.
Right.
Okay.
No, the white shirt.
The new one. Yeah.
No, not the new one.
Oh, the man in the white sharkskin suit.
Yes.
I'm trying to wean people away from it and have them read the new one.
I love the title.
But I'm going to
The
talk about
Arrogant
it.
Years. I just saw the title, and even if I didn't know you or know the previous book, the title would have intrigued me.
Thank you.
Well,
you know what? There's going to be a Q&A. Why don't you ask me how I came up with the title? If you want, are you at my table?
I'm at 5, which isn't there yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I have no idea where I am.
You're at 3.
Oh, okay.
4, and then 5 isn't there yet.
Yeah. Well,
This is a busy day for you, right?
it's a very busy day.
And you're speaking here at the American Friends for Rabin Medical Center.
I am.
How do you feel about that?
I'm so excited. You know, as a reporter for the Wall Street Journal, I covered hospitals for 10 years, and I know to the depths of my being how important it is to support our hospitals and to support medical research. It's incredibly important to me, which is why I agreed to do this.
Tell us about your new book. Your past book was a very successful book, and that was called?
My first memoir about my Egyptian Jewish father was called The Man in the White Sharkskin Suit. And what I wanted to do was bring to life a culture that had essentially died, that had faded from people's memories. The fact that there was once a glorious Jewish community in an Arab country, in Egypt. And I wanted to tell the story of the downfall of my father, ironically, when he came to America. It's not your typical immigrant story. With a new book, I'm talking about my mother. I decided that she deserved her own book, and you'll see her journey from old Cairo to New York.
So, and you have fans. We just heard from one.
I'm always amazed by how emotional people get over the books. It's really incredible to me and very moving.
So tell us what's good news for you.
What's good news
for you?
Well, good news is being here today, knowing that the Rabin Medical Center has such a strong support base, knowing, I guess, above all, or important for me, that people really like my books, and that I guess I should try to keep writing, even though that can be very hard.
And what do you want people to learn from this new book?
I want people to know that once upon a time, and we're on the eve of Mother's Day, I had a magnificent mom named Edith, who in her own way was every bit as majestic a character as the man in the white sharkskin suit. And I want them above all to know that there are two refugee narratives. There's the narrative we all know about the Palestinians, and the narrative we don't know about the Jews who had to leave their homes in the Arab countries. I think it's a story that's shockingly ignored and erased from people's consciousness. And it's every bit as tragic, if not more, than the other. There were two narratives, not one. Two groups of refugees. I mean, I was a refugee. I came here at the age of 7, and we settled in Brooklyn.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Your name is?
Tamar Herschel Snyder.
Okay, the rabbi just said, you need to speak with this woman. She's from Israel. She must know Rabin Medical Center.
Of course, I know Rabin Medical Center, and I'm going for a bat mitzvah of my granddaughter that her father was born in Rabin Medical Center, but it was Bellinson there, and it's the best place, and I deliver 2 kids there, so that's about the Rabin Medical Center.
And you're an artist here in America, an environmental artist.
I am an artist, an environmental artist, mostly paintings, sculpture. I did a great globe about how we can save the world, and it was in Chicago, Tikkun Olam.
Yes?
And I have also some movies about environmental things, and I wish when you have time that you come and see.
What's your website? Do you have a website people can see?
I have
your
a
work?
website, www.tamar@tamarherschel.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. All right, we're now with the chairman of the Friends of Rabin Medical Center, Barry
Cohen. Barry Cohen.
It's good to be a Cohen in the Jewish religion.
Sorry?
It's good to be a Cohen in the
I
Jewish
think
religion.
not so bad. Not so bad. One of the few places that it works well. Anyway, I'm delighted to be here. Another successful event for the Rabin Medical Center, and looking forward a lot to the speeches today and to the event itself. A lot of people seem to be enjoying it, and I'm very glad about that.
Well, why are you the chairman? Give me a good
Why
reason.
am I the chairman? I got drafted into the role about 10 years ago.
Then why are you still the chairman? Why do you want to be the chairman?
Well, because I really believe in the hospital, I believe in the institution, and I believe anything we can do to be of help is a great value for us and for the hospital. And I'd like to contribute as much as I can towards that.
And you've seen many success stories.
I've seen we've had some good luck.
All right.
Some good luck, and we still have a long way to go though. And I wish that everybody that's here could get a chance to visit this hospital as guests, not necessarily as patients, but it's a wonderful, wonderful center.
Beautiful. What's good news for you? What's good news for you?
Good news is that I'm hoping that we can contribute to the development of a center for the heart. They have a real cancer center. They are #1 in transplants, transplantation, heart transplants, and so on. And I want them to have a big heart center, and I want us to be instrumental in getting them there.
As they say, sei gesund. Do you know that word?
I know the word. I know the word.
Thank you so much.
Cohen's know some words also. Thank you.
Thank you.